And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Saturday morning new distributor training. For those of you I haven't had the privilege of getting a chance to meet, my name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with ZJ International. This is something that we do on a regular Saturday morning. Our focus is for new distributors. This is kind of a unique time in ZJ, and I'm going to be doing some special things this morning. Certainly I want to extend a very warm welcome to all of you who have joined me this morning, or maybe for those of you that are attending via the replay, the recording of this broadcast, welcome as well. In particular, I want to take a note. While I recognize many of the people that are on the call this morning, I can't see you, okay? So just in case you're wondering, I can't see you, you can see me. I'm wearing my work clothes, as you can see, but I can see the names of the people attending, and actually what's very exciting to me is how many people's names I do not recognize, which is an indicator of what's happening in ZJ right now in terms of new distributors, new growth, and that sort of thing. So I encourage you to grab pen and paper or grab your journal, get your journal out. You're going to want to take some notes because, as I said, this is probably one of the most important, if not the most important time that I'll be addressing the group in my career. 10 years now with ZJ, over 30 years, in or around the industry. And I preface this, or I promoted this as the 2018 State of the Company and Opportunity address. And yes, that was a blatant ripoff of our traditional in the United States. We do, the president does the State of the Union address. And so yes, that was exactly right. It was a blatant ripoff of that. And what I'm going to do this morning is a couple of things. I want to share with you a little bit about where ZJ is now and where we're going to be going in the future. I want to give you, secondly, a game plan that'll allow you to take advantage of what I'm going to be speaking about right now in terms of the growth of the company. And then finally, opportunities to plug in to what's happening within ZJ and the support services and systems that are available to you. So first, let's talk about the state of the company and the opportunity for 2018. And to do so, I need to give you a little bit of history. ZJ International launched officially in 2005. That would have been, I believe it was November 1 or October 1, 2005. And the company, when it started, was a vehicle for this investment that Ken Brailsford, the owner of ZJ International, had made into creating the ZJ product, our original smart drink in a can. He had invested millions of dollars, first in the formulation of the product, and then the acquisition of the plantations necessary to grow the most nutrient-rich and dense varietal of the moringa tree, and was in a position where there was no direct marketing component to his company. It had started as a traditional direct sales type of, not direct sales, retail sales type of a program where they were selling the little cans in the convenience marts, and that wasn't happening. Here was the challenge that Ken had. He was not able to run his company. He had invested several $millions to bring the product to market, but had no way to market the product. And at the time, he had made a commitment to do a mission program with his church. It was a 3-year commitment. He was, halfway or, only like a year into that commitment. And what he did through the help of a friend of his is he developed this network marketing company. We acquired a couple of people from the corporate end of a couple of other companies to start it. Now, without Ken's presence, ZJ International started to grow. It was a slow growth. Now come to the end of 2007 when I was introduced to ZJ International. I was excited not because of what I saw in the company. Okay, quite frankly, it was a small company. We had a very small office space. that was leased office space. The capacity of the company at that time was extremely limited. For a 2-year period of time, the growth of the company was modest, and that's being very kind. Now, I got involved with Zege International, number one, because of the legacy of Ken Brailsford. The advantages I had over the average person was that I'd been involved in this industry for a number of years. I'd created a retirement income in literally 10 years. I went from being a cross-country truck driver to being able to retire because of the income I'd earned over a 10-year period of time in a previous network marketing company. One of the advantages is that I knew what to look for in a company. Most people join a network marketing company because of a product they've been exposed to. And if you think about it, if you're a business owner, okay, the product is secondary in terms of making a decision to start a business. What's primary is the company that supports the product. Okay, it does you no good to have a product that you like and an infrastructure that creates that product that disappears in a year or 2 or 3 or what have you. And so, unlike most people, what I did is I investigated the company. That's what I did first. Actually, I was introduced. I spent some time. It took a few weeks for me to make a decision that, right company, right product. I was really acutely aware it was the wrong timing because we were so small. I actually ordered my diamond pack to start my Zege business, and then flew to Utah to interview the corporate team, to see the facilities, to make sure that it was the right decision. And my sponsor at the time said, congratulations for coming on board. And I said, don't congratulate me. I haven't made a decision yet. I'm going to go to Utah and check the place out. But he said, I just saw your order. Go, real simple. If I see something that I want to get involved in, I want the product on my doorstep when I get back from Utah. And when I went to Zege, I saw, frankly, there were more problems that I saw when I interviewed the company than benefits. But I also am acutely aware of the fact that when Ken Brailsford's name is on something, it is a virtual guarantee of success. And you can relate that to the companies that he's developed personally in the past. Most of you know that story. For the new people, Ken was one of the original founders of Nature's Sunshine. Now been in business over 40, almost 45 years. Billions of dollars in sales during that period of time. Ken was the founder of Enrich International in the 80s. Now continues under the name of Unicity. Over 30 years in business, billions of dollars in sales. In the history of network marketing, there's only been a couple of dozen, 25, maybe 30 companies that have stood the test of time, become legacy companies. Only one man has created 2 of those companies, and that's Ken Brailsford. Track record is more important than anything. Track record, integrity, track record, capacity, experience. If you combine that with a great product, and that was second to me was the product, but I got to tell you, if I did not see a good product, I still would not have joined. This product, I didn't even have to try it to realize it was going to change people's lives. I know enough about nutrition, enough about the challenges we have in the Western world today, getting nutrition, to know this was going to be a product that would work, that people would use it, and they would continue to use it based upon results. And those are the primary ingredients that I was looking for. Now, back when we started, okay, when I say we, there's only a couple of people that have been around as long as I have. When I say we, I talk about people like David Moses, Pat Anderson. Pat joined me on the team, I believe, about 6 months into my tenure in Zege. And the company, in that first 2 years of production, had developed a sales of about $1 million in sales over a 2-year period of time. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, that's incredibly small. It's not even worth mentioning. Now, that first year in Zija, and this is how I want you to perceive the difference between today and what we had 10 years ago. In 2008, we started building the Zija business, and we literally doubled what the company had done in the first 2 years. We came in at almost $2 million in sales that first year of 2008. Now, it was a struggle, okay? We had one product. We had an antiquated compensation plan. It wasn't a bad compensation plan. It just was not state of the art. It wasn't the kind of thing that could create a legacy company. In August of 2008, Ken Brailsford had completed his 3-year mission. He had come back to Utah to see the offices he was paying for, but he'd never seen before. He put together a meeting of the top 50 distributors in the company. At that time, and I can only think of a couple of people that are still here today after that initial meeting. He invited 50 of us to come to Park City in the summer because he wanted to meet with the team that he was going to build Zija with. And Pat Anderson was one of those people. David Moses is one of those people. And I would have to really, stretch to remember if there's anybody else that was at that event that is still with Zija today. Now, what Ken said at that time, it was kind of Ken's coming out party. He was rejoining or taking the helm of the company that his checkbook and his vision had started, but he had never actually participated in the development of the company. And he made these 2 commitments to the people in the room at that time. He said, number 1, before the end of the year, we will have a brand new product that will change your capacity to build the business. Number 2, you will have a brand new compensation plan that will be state of the art. It will provide you a vehicle not only for the leaders to make money, but more importantly, the brand new distributors could create a significant income by simply doing what it is we do. Share the product, share the opportunity, and teach others to do the same. And I have to tell you, when I first met Ken Brailsford, well, I knew the Ken Brailsford story. I'd never met the man. It was just the legend, if you will. I was so impressed with Ken because he was so unlike any other company owner that I've ever met that was, real flash and dash and, bling and, diamond pinky rings and that sort of thing. What impressed me was his shoes, okay? There's a man that understands the value of money because I was taught years ago, don't worry about the suit so much, get something that looks nice, but invest your money in shoes, okay? A good pair of shoes will last you a lifetime because you can resole them, right? And Ken had great shoes. I know that sounds kind of silly, but that was one of the things that impressed me about Ken. He was so soft-spoken, but it was clear that he knew that he knew that he knew. See, this is the difference between people that hope they will do well and those that have already been there, done that, and they're going to do it again. And Ken fulfilled on every single one of those 2 promises, and he did so extremely quickly. Long before the end of the year, we had our first smart drink in the package where we could actually ship a supply of product to people without having to, buy an 18-wheeler to send a bunch of cans out. And he developed our brand new compensation plan. And today we are in period 123. That is 123 periods have elapsed since the institution of that new compensation plan. And what happened in 2008 is we literally doubled the sales that we had in the first 2 years combined. And the following year, we did it again, over double, we went to 5 million. In the third year, we went to over $10 million in sales with Ken at the helm of the ship. Now, over the years, there have been transitions, that sort of thing. Ken has stepped back from you know, hands-on day-to-day leadership of the company. We've been fortunate that Ken has selected some of the finest young minds in direct marketing to lead the ship. People like Ryan Palmer, Jerem Daystrom. We've acquired Joshua Plant, both in the form of, you know, product formulation, as well as his incredible wisdom and knowledge in systems development. And the companies continue to grow. Today, we are recognized in the top, you know, 1 or 2% of network marketing companies for one very simple reason: we're still in business. Over 10 years, well, the company celebrated its 11th year anniversary, you know, last year. We are still in business. In the time that I've been with Zija, I have had truly successful network marketing gurus, professionals, call me on 4 or 5 different opportunities trying to get me to join their deal, leave Zija, join their deal, and those companies aren't around anymore. You need to go to David Moses's Facebook page and listen to a broadcast he did from Tel Aviv here a couple of days ago where he talks about that. There was a company that was supposed to be the biggest thing that's ever happened in network marketing. They had a massive run in less than 5 years to almost $1 billion in sales. They're gone. Okay, they are gone. They're not around anymore. There's no offices. They're gone. And see, this is the nature of the industry. Those of you that, you know, that are regular participants of Saturday morning new distributor training have heard me say this many, many times. What we do is relatively simple. There isn't that much to it. The hardest part of creating success in a network marketing home-based business is finding the right company. And then secondly, finding that company at the right timing. Now, I'm going to be candid with you. That first, you know, the first 10 years of Zija, and in particular those first, you know, half dozen years, was an extreme challenge. There were a lot of good people that joined Zija at the time, and for whatever reason, they did not stick around. And there's been a few people recently that didn't stick around. And all I can say is that if you look at those people that aren't here today, the singular thing I can tell you about them is they did not have the experience or the vision to see what Zija could become. That's the difference, okay? I knew what could happen to Zija International. I was with a company where me and a small team of people took that company from, you know, $1 million a month in business. You know, it was about a $10 or $12 million a year company. 3 years later, it was $1 million a day in business, over $350 million a year in sales. And because of that, this helped me over the years recognize what Zija could become. Now, let's fast forward and let's talk about the state of the company and the opportunity today. Unlike 10 years ago, here's what we have today. Rather than you know, a small amount of leased office space, we own, bought and paid for, we built Class A office space in Linden, Utah. Okay, it's a 4-story building. We occupy 1 floor. When Ken built that building, okay, invested in the future Zija International, he purposely built the building such that the additional stories above us are on leases to those companies, and they're progressively longer leases. When the time comes that Zija International needs more administrative facilities, will be the time that the 2nd floor lease is up, and we will simply move into that office, into that space. And, you know, when we hit a $500 million a year in sales, will be the time we'll probably need that 2nd space. When we hit $1 billion in sales, we'll be able to occupy the 3rd floor, and so on. See, Ken didn't build this company just to bring Moringa to the marketplace. That was his passion, was because of the product. But Ken Brailsford is building Zija International to be his legacy to the world. When he made his announcement to the Diamond Club, he made a comment that really resonated with me. Not just the opportunity to change people's health through these products, but to change their financial situation, to create opportunity. This is America has been the world's, what the world wants to be. You don't hear people trying to immigrate illegally into Poland, or Czechoslovakia. Everybody wants to come to America. Why? Because this is a place where hard work, consistency, you can create opportunity, and it's an environment where people can become more, do more because of the opportunity that's available. And that's what Ken has made a commitment to do. Now, fast forward from small office space to owned space that has the capacity to grow with us without having to go build another building, without having to go source more land. Ken has expanded on the product. Okay, today, unlike when we first started, and Pat Anderson remembers this, we used to have to rent a truck to get cases of the original smart drink in the can for a product display because it was so heavy. Today we've got several product divisions, every single one of them, and a credit to Joshua Plant, every single one of our product divisions is stellar. We are at the cutting edge of technology. Nobody in the industry has what we have in terms of the quality of product, diversification of the product, the documentation of results of the products. Everybody in network marketing, if they could say it without disturbing their company and their distributor base, they would want what we've got. When Ken built the original manufacturing facility to be a pharmaceutical grade, I had an opportunity. I was in Utah for a different reason at the time, but they gave me a tour of the new manufacturing facility, and the first thing I noticed was there were giant square holes in the foundation. And I said, what's up with that? And that's when they told me Ken's building the building to create enough infrastructure support so that when the time's ready, we can put a second floor on it. We can create $1 billion in sales with the original manufacturing facility, but we're building a second floor on top of it, so that way when we need to expand, we'll just simply open up the second floor, leverage all the equipment infrastructure from below. We weren't going to have to go and build, a new building, get new land, and that sort of thing. Ken has put this together to be his legacy to the world. Now, today in 2018, up till yesterday, this is what we had. We had world-class corporate leadership in the form of Ryan Palmer, Jerem Daystrip, Joshua Plant. We had world-class products that meet recognized needs. I mean, with our different product lines, there isn't a single person out there that won't find something within our product line to get excited about. We have the compensation plan that creates true opportunity. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, there were some people when that new compensation plan came out that were a little disappointed that there was money that could have been earned by top income earners, people like myself, that was kind of transitioned down into the entry levels. I loved it. Okay, I loved it. Honestly, you can take 5 or 10% of my income away from me, and I'm not going to notice. Okay, I won't notice it, but it makes a huge impact on the brand new distributor. And the lifeblood of our business is that brand new person that gets started with the product, gets a little inventory, shares with their friends, starts talking to other friends, finding out that there's some of those friends would also like to create a little additional income. We have a world-class compensation plan. Now, the reason I am more excited today than I have been in 10 years with this company It's like deja vu all over again. It is the beginning, the launch of ZJ International 2.0, because yesterday, and for many of you, you've already heard this, but if you haven't, let me just share it with you now. Yesterday, Ken Brailsford announced that he would be returning to full-time activity with ZJ International as the Chief Executive Officer. And to me, that is one of the most significant events that has occurred in ZJ in the last 5 years since the time that Ken stepped down from that capacity. And what we have today is an environment, because of the incredible leadership, strength, and vision and focus and effort of our corporate team. The president of the company, Ryan Palmer, VP of Global Sales, Jerem Daystrip, VP of Product Development, and so on, Joshua Plant. They are a credit to what has happened with ZJ International. Like I just said, we are literally in the top 1% of network marketing companies that have ever existed in the world, because we're still in business and growing after 10 years. But if you want to do one more thing, bring the world-class experience of Ken Brailsford to the table. There is nothing that could possibly stop this company. And this is something, and I want to share this because there's a question about, well, why would Ken come back as CEO if we already have great corporate leadership? Real simple, folks. It's something I tried to teach my boys as they were growing up. If you have to make a choice between maturity and experience versus youth and energy, pick maturity, pick experience, because it will always win. The example I gave my sons, Mario Andretti, world-class race car driver. He was racing and winning well into his mid-60s before he retired. His sons, he had a couple of sons that same gene pool, same, grew up in a racing family. He was competing against his sons. Now, if you put everything together, younger, stronger, better reflexes. Why was he beating his sons? Experience. Now, you take world-class corporate leadership like we have, add to that the experience of Ken Brailsford, and I have to tell you something, not that there was ever any doubt in my mind that we would be something extremely special in the industry. Today, I realize there is nothing in the world that will ever be able to match ZJ International. That is the state of our company, the state of our opportunity. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is, what does this mean to you and how can you take advantage of it? I'm going to again share a little bit of history. Looks like I'm having a little bit of computer problems here. Hopefully that's working now. When I started in 2008, the advantage I had is that I'd done this before. I knew what to do and what to expect. And here's the history of what happened for me. The first year, and I'm going to relate this to, that was 2008. This is now 2018. That first year was a challenge, okay? There wasn't a lot happening. It was a very small company. We really didn't have any success stories. What I did is I applied the strategies and techniques that carried me to $1 million income earner prior to ZJ in this industry, and I established my foundation. I established my distributorship base, and I did it by setting realistic and attainable goals. First on an annual basis, then a quarterly basis, and then broke it down to a monthly basis and then a weekly basis. And then I developed my daily method of operation in a fashion that was sustainable for a prolonged period of time. And over that first year of 2008, I was able to establish my base, the foundation of my distributor organization. Year 2, I continued the process to develop some traction in my business. By traction, I mean duplication. People joining in the second year, that being their first year, joining in my second year, and teaching them how to establish their foundation. By the end of that second year, I had a small organization that had some traction, which was all that was necessary to create significant momentum growth in that third year. By the end of that third year, this is the end of 2010, my job was really done. I had enough in place, foundation the first year, traction the second year, momentum growth the third year, that all I had to do was pedal, okay? If you will, you know, the bicycle was already rolling. I just had to keep my feet on the pedals and keep up with the bike, and I was able to experience life-changing financial results as the company grew. Now, let's bring this forward for each one of you. And here I'm talking about whether you are a brand new distributor, you just signed up 24 hours ago, you've been around for a few months, a year, or some of you have been around for several years. This is your opportunity to be in at the beginning of the major growth curve in Zija. And the only difference between today and 10 years ago is everything that we had to work with is like massively improved. It's like Zija 2.0, Zija on steroids. We've got an incredible corporate leadership team. By the way, the original corporate leadership team that Ken started with before he actually came back to take over, they're gone. They weren't the people. They weren't the ones. Today, we've got the active, engaged corporate leadership that we need between Ryan, Josh, and Jerem. We have world-class CEO Ken Brailsford, who's created 2 of the legacy companies in this industry. Because of his tutelage, he's spawned several others. I mean, Ken is responsible for about 25% of the legacy companies in this entire profession over the last 70 years. And he's now at the helm of the ship. Add to that the fact that today, unlike 10 years ago, where there wasn't anybody in the field that was, doing the deal, we've got world-class field leadership that is more actively engaged than I've ever seen in many years. And I'm not just talking about the people that are on my team, so many teams. The fact is that, in just a couple of weeks, we'll be attending the Diamond Club retreat in Florida, and probably with, the top 50 distributors in the company. And we will be meeting, combining our efforts to make sure that we are one company, one distributor base, all focused on the growth of the company, which is going to support the growth of every single distributor. And so today, this is my focus, and this is what I'm encouraging each one of you to do. Whether you've been in a day, a few months, a year, or a few years, here are the ingredients that will allow you to do what I did 10 years ago, put together a 36-month game plan that can set up the rest of your financial life. 36 months that will change your life forever. Now, the process is very simple. For those of you that have been around for a while, number one on your to-do list, get the new distributor mindset. Okay, get the new distributor mindset. Why is the new distributor so successful out of the gate? Okay, we've got a gal, and my apologies, the name is gonna escape me at the moment. We have a brand new distributor, just started a couple of weeks ago, and has already blown past Builder 500, Builder 1000, hit bronze, but blew past that and hit silver. Okay, and why? because it never occurred to her that she couldn't. She is passionate about these products. And she had incredible leadership support in the form of Ann Dom. See, this is something that none of us had back then. We had to rely on ourselves. Today, each one of you have highly experienced, highly successful distributors. As I'm looking down the list here, just the people that are on right now: Pat Anderson. Let's see, we've got, I saw Amy McKenzie. Who else am I looking at here? Up and coming stars. You know, like where are we at here? Oh, Al Lewis, Al and his wife Cheryl. Brand new golds. You saw them, you know, last Thursday. Christine Holland. These are people that have the capacity to show you what to do to support your efforts. But get that new distributor mentality, the mindset, especially if you've been around for a while. Okay, you get jaded. You forget, because you feel great on ZJ, you forget what it felt like before you got on ZJ. Because you've maybe been to a convention, you forget what it was like from your first convention to realize, wow, this is really a deal that's bigger than me. Okay, number one, develop the new distributor mindset. Get rid of the scar tissue. You know, there's some of you out there, and I heard it, okay, you're still whining because you ain't got this anymore. All right, really? We've got, this has been replaced by Limitless. Okay, we didn't even have this when we built in those first 3 years. Okay, and some of you are going, well, how come you got it, Fred? Because I bought 20 cases before they shut it down. You know, because I do like this. But you know what? I love Limitless. Now, get rid of the scar tissue. Okay, don't worry about what you didn't do. Remember, it's not about you. It's always about your prospect. Get the new distributor mindset. Now, let me share with you what I did in 2008 to put together a 36-month game plan that took me to, you know, not only a financial level, but a lifestyle that, you know, frankly, less than 1% of the population can even dream about. And why every single one of you, even if you're starting today, if you do this, the accomplishments that people like myself and Pat Anderson have had in the past, Amy McKenzie have had in the past, you're going to blow us away. Everything that we've done will pale in comparison to what you can accomplish because of what you have to work with today in ZJ International. Number one, let's focus on this next 12 months, and we're already, you know, 27 days into the first month. For this year, let's focus on establishing a base. And write this in your notes. Simplicity is going to be the key to your success. Simplicity, keeping it simple. And so I'm going to give you a little good news, a little bad news. Here's one of the things that helped us in 2008 and 2009. We had one product. It was simple. We didn't have that much. We didn't need to know that much. You know, we just had to share the story of the product. Today, here is a challenge for you. We have lots and lots of products. So let me give you a little insider tip. Don't worry about that. Okay? Don't worry about knowing about all the products. Focus on the products that affect you. Okay? And as you go forward, try to experience some of the other products. Okay? Me personally, I use virtually all of the ZJ products every single day. Okay? But I can afford to. If you look at our product diversification today, it'd be a challenge to get one of everything for most people. Okay? It would be a challenge. Don't worry about what you don't know. And understand this key element. This needs to be in your notes. Product knowledge, product information does not sell the product. Okay? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I know an awful lot about moringa. I know an awful lot about the various ingredients, how we develop the plantations, why we develop the plantations, all the different things. And I don't ever share that information. Okay, it's knowledge for me, but let me tell you, because I know how to do this business, this is all I need to know. If I want to sell my products, I share my personal story on the product and the stories of others. That's it. Okay, I never talk about 92 verifiable ingredients. I don't talk about enzymatically alive, 46 antioxidants, 36 anti-inflammatory, blah, 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 blah. Never talk about that, because that doesn't sell the product. Here's what sells the product: my story and the stories of others. And see, that's something a brand new distributor can learn today, is how to share your product story and then start sampling out. Get some family members on the product. That's one of the first things I did, is I gave product to a few people so that I could get their stories. Well, wasn't that expensive giving away product? Not compared to the value of having 2 or 3 or 4 more stories to sell more product. So you want to sell a lot of product? Forget about the product information. Learn to share the stories. Keep it simple. Okay? Simplicity is going to help you in the business. Now, back in the early days, honestly, the new compensation plan, most people didn't understand it, but that was okay. We didn't need to understand it. Correct activities create income, not knowledge of the compensation plan, not knowledge of the promotions, not knowledge of the the 50% additional team commissions, and what does that mean? Okay, here's how you sell the opportunity, if you will. You create new distributors, recruit new distributors. Share the stories of your success in the business and the success of others. And make no mistake about it, if you've developed a couple of customers, you got a story. I want you to think about this for a minute. If you made $50 getting a couple of people started on the product, you made $50 this past week, that's a story. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get a huge percentage of the population that's going to want to hear how you did that. Let me tell you why. $50 in a week is a lot of money to most people. And if you don't think so, try and get 50 bucks out of one of your friends. Okay? First thing you say, what do you need it for? Because if it's not that much money, they just give it to you. Okay? $50 a week, $200 a month, $2,000 a year. Just getting a couple of customers. You got a story. Your story and the stories of others. And for those of you that I don't have a beautiful body, I don't feel like I can go talk to people yet about the product. It's not about you, it's about them. Okay, well, I still need to lose 20 pounds or 30 pounds before I can go talk to my friends. It's not about you, it's about them. Have you lost any weight? Because you're a story in progress. Okay, tell your story and the story of others. Well, I don't have, I'm not muscular, gym fit, I need to be in the gym and really work out and look a lot better before I can talk about the products. Again, not about you. It's about them. It's your story and the stories of others. Now, should you continue to lose weight, work out, look better, feel, sure you should. But don't wait to tell somebody else. Your story and the stories of others. Same thing with the opportunity. Well, I haven't made a lot of money yet. Don't want to talk to my friends. It's not about you. First of all, everybody's got a story. And let me tell you right now, most of the people that are going to join the Zija business with you, they're not going to join just because of your story. They're going to join because of your story and the stories of others. Keep it simple. Don't worry about the product ingredients. Here's another one. Fred, I'm having a hard time keeping track or understanding, the builder bonus and the get to bonus, the get qualified bonus. Don't worry about that. Okay. Honestly, I have to ask people like Amy McKenzie the details of the bonuses. I was talking to Pat Anderson yesterday on the way home from the gym, and she actually told me something, had absolutely no clue what was going on. Okay. Here's what's cool. This is what you need to understand. Correct activities will produce the results. All promotions, you know, whether they're short-term or long-term, all the components of the compensation plan, they are all designed to reward correct activities. So you can do one of two things. You can spend the next several months learning all that stuff and understanding all the promotions and the compensation plan, all that sort of thing, or you can simply do correct activities and get paid. Let me tell you what I figured out. Do the correct activities. Don't worry about the details. Do the correct activities. What are those correct activities? Go get 2 people. Go get 2 people on the product. Go get 2 people like you that want to make some money. And once you've got those 2 people, somebody's about to say, go get 2 more. Yes, but not now. Okay? Help those 2 people get their 2. And then once you've got those 4 people on the second level, help those people get their first 2, and then do it again. When you get down into that 4th level, you will be creating a base. You will start to get some traction in your organization. Now, as you're doing that, yes, go get 2 more. Okay? That's called walk and chew gum at the same time. But if all you ever do is go get 2 and then go get 2 and then go get 2 and go get 2, and you never help the first 2 get their first 2, and then the second level get their first 2, and so on, you'll never create a base. You'll never create any traction. Okay? I am not the best recruiter in ZJ. I'm going to tell you right now, virtually every single one of the leaders that is part of my organization can out-recruit me every single day and twice on Sunday. Okay? What is my superpower? I understand this concept of building in depth. That's what has made my organization one of the, you know, the largest, most, you know, sustained organization in the last 10 years of ZJ International. Now, create a base. Focus this year on creating that base. One of the keys, of course, is to set some realistic goals. Now, I've already heard in the last few, probably this last week, that I've, you know, gotten back into the swing of things after my little respite here at the undisclosed island location. Several brand new people saying this year they're going to go diamond. This year they're going to go diamond. Folks, that's fine. Okay, I'm not going to tell you can't go diamond. What I'm going to suggest to you is that you look at the numbers and create a realistic and obtainable goal. Now, as many of you know, I'm one of the top income earners in ZJ. Do you realize that my first year in ZJ, I ended the year at gold? Gold. Not diamond, not black diamond, not double, you know, crusted pinky ring gold. It was gold. The second year in ZJ, I ended the year at emerald. Okay? And I'm a hot dog, you know, I'm a superstar. So don't worry so much about the rank. Here's what I would do, is I'd be focused setting realistic goals, certainly attach some numbers to it. Attach an income goal, you know, a pin rank if you want, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you what I'm more interested in is how many solid distributors will you develop in this first year? What I would focus on is 5. Focus on 5. 5 solid distributors will carry you to diamond. What if it took you 3 years to hit diamond like it took me? What would happen? Would that be terrible? Hasn't seemed to be too bad for me. So, set realistic, achievable goals. Number 2, establish a daily method of operation. This is the most important thing. Something that is sustainable over a prolonged period of time. ZJ International, network marketing, it is entrepreneurship, it is you know, true opportunity at its finest and most pure form. An opportunity for the average person with limited resources and time to create a business of their own so they can start working on creating their fortune instead of working for somebody else. Okay, most people, many people, If they could, they would want to have their own enterprise as opposed to building somebody else's business. And that's what this is about. Now, be realistic, you're gonna have to work it like a business, okay? If a store owner gets a store, opens up the store, let's say their store is open Monday through Saturday. How many days out of the week do they have to open up the store? 6, because it's open Monday through Saturday. Maybe they are closed on Sunday, okay? That doesn't mean that on Tuesday they open up the store if they feel like it. Or on Tuesday, they don't open up the store because the weather's bad, or because the in-laws are visiting, or because there's a soccer game. Okay, now, the difference between what we do and what a traditional business owner has is we can devote an hour a day to our business, 2 hours a day to our business. I'm going to tell you, if you really want to know what I did to create that initial foundation in 2008, is I established a daily method of operation that was sustainable. I targeted a certain amount of time every single day within that, 1 or 2 or 3 hour time frame. I set aside, targeted amounts of contacts. How many people was I going to talk to about the product? How many was I going to talk to about the opportunity? How many of my, prospective customers, distributors were I following up on? My existing customers, distributors, supporting their efforts. It was a sustainable amount of time. Don't be that person who says, well, I'm going to put in 8 hours a day to my Zija business on top of my 8 hour day job and on top of supporting my family and my kids. It's not sustainable. But here's a real important clue to why, if you establish a daily method of operation, if it is sustainable over a prolonged period of time, you will want to write this in your notes. Consistency of activity over a prolonged period of time overcomes all obstacles. Consistency of effort and persistency of effort overcome all obstacles. And if you simply do those two things, establish realistic and achievable goals, and then simply put together a daily method of operation that is sustainable over a prolonged period of time, the fact that you are joining Zija International at this exact moment in time, it is inevitable that you will create the results that you're looking for. It is inevitable. And the fact of the matter is, and I'm not going to say it's easy, because nothing of significance that you achieve is easy, but you have a much better opportunity today than we've ever had in Zija International in the 10 years that I've been here, because of the things that I just laid out with you. Folks, do this, okay? Establish your business this year. Focus on creating the foundation in 2018. Develop the people that you start with in 2019. Create the traction necessary to start developing a residual income. And then if you just continue that process one more year, the results that you will get will blow away the results of people like myself, David Moses, Amy McKenzie, and so on, Pat Anderson, because you've got so much more to work with. All right, in conclusion, I said I was going to do one more thing. Many of you are part of my personal organization. Some of you are not, okay? And that's fine. I've chosen to open this up because I want to lead the field in this concept of one company, one distributor base. We're all focused on working together. Now, if you're working with active, engaged leaders, plug into them, plug into their systems, plug into their activities and so on. Don't let anything that I say that is different than from what your leader is saying change that, because this is much more a business of duplication than it is specific activities. For those of you that desire, plug into me. Okay, I've put in a lot of financial resources and time in creating an infrastructure that provides for support services. So in conjunction with Pat Anderson. This is something we decided to do last year when we realized what was about to happen with Zija. We wanted to do what we did before. Again, you know, back to the future, you know, deja vu all over again. We built our businesses with the, you know, the Pat and Fred show, right? The you know, Wednesday evening our product presentations, Thursday evening business presentations. We're still doing that, but it's just in the next form. You know, Pat Anderson has tremendous resources on her team website, clubmoringa.com. Wednesday evening, she does Health Talks with Pat Anderson. Thursday evening, we're doing Biz Talks with Fred Holmes. Plug into those. Okay, I've got a mailing list, you know, a team email list that I put out information on all the upcoming events and the promotions and what have you. Sign up for that. It's not limited to my organization. Go to my website, fredholmes.com, www.fredholmes.com. Click on contact. My contact information is there. Everything, you know. My telephone numbers, my email address, my favorite color, right? You know, everything is there. At the bottom of the contact section, there's a place where you can sign up for my newsletter. That's my team email list. You will get on the list. Okay, this is, you know, don't be that person who goes, I didn't know there was a webinar on Thursday. Well, you didn't get the email, right? Go to my YouTube channel. Okay, I've got a YouTube channel. www.youtube.com/FredHolmesZija. Fred Holmes Zija. I'm posting training there, replays of the various presentations and trainings and so on. You know, subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified every time a new video is uploaded. Go to Facebook. Okay, friend me on my personal page. Like my business page. My personal page is Fred W. Holmes, at Fred W. Holmes. The business page is, you know, at Fred Holmes Zija. You know, get involved. I'm putting out a lot of information, training, you know, visionary kinds of things through social media in that format. Plug into that. You're all welcome to be part of that. And so we've hit the top of the hour. It's time for me to wrap things up. Let's see here. Hit the restart button. Very good. Pat, I couldn't say it better. Pretend like this is day one. Looks like we're all good here. Tanya, good to see you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and put a close on this. All I can tell you is some of you will heed the things that I said today, some won't. Okay? For those of you that do, this is what I can tell you. One way or the other, 3 years from now is going to be 3 years from now. I mean, good Lord willing, you know, we're all still around. 3 years from now is going to be 3 years from now. The difference of where you will be 3 years from now is going to be based upon what you do today, tomorrow, the day after, for the next 36 months. Okay? A little bit of activity exercised on a daily basis will create incredible results. It's changed my family's life, you know, the ability to provide for my loved ones. You have the same capacity. The only difference is it's going to be much, much greater. So, hope that's been helpful to you folks. Make sure you're plugged into the various events that are going on. Health Talks with Pat on Wednesday, Biz Talks with me on Thursday. And I would be extremely negligent if I didn't say one last thing, how much I appreciate Amy McKenzie for filling in for me on the Biz Talks and Saturday morning presentations and trainings here for 2 weeks. My only challenge with Amy's performance is I've had too many people say, when's Amy coming back? So thank you, Amy, for letting everybody know what a really good trainer is like. Appreciate that. But I appreciate everything that all of you are doing to support the efforts of the team. And with that, I'm going to wish you all a wonderful weekend. We'll look forward to seeing you Thursday evening on Biz Talks and next Saturday morning for new distributor training. See you later. Bye-bye.